Welcome, Ringette fans. We have some gold medal action for you here at the Nepean Sportsplex in beautiful Ottawa, Ontario. Waterloo Wildfire versus BC Thunder, your National Ringette League, head-to-head to see who takes first place. It's been a hard week. It's been a long week. Both teams have been battling. We're happy to bring you the action. Thank you for tuning in from wherever you are. Special shout out to our friends at CBC Sports and All Women's Sports Network. It's been a pleasure to bring you all of these games across the week and have you all tune in, particularly for this one. So myself, Emily Renneberg, here for the play-by-play. I'm joined by my wonderful colleague,
Lucianne Ingoldsby. So here we're just getting a shot of the BC goaltender, Sarah McDonald, one of the Team Canada goaltenders as well. She will be a key factor for the BC Thunder in this game. She had an exceptional game yesterday in the semifinal. Just really, both goalies in that game standing on their heads. They defeated Rivs at 3-1 in that semifinal game, and both goaltenders, either one could have been the winner on the day there.
Well, and BC has done an immeasurable job in improving from last year. They came into the Nationals last year in 12th place, and now they're hunting for at least first or second. And one of those people that'll be up against their efforts is Jackie Senior. She has been around since the league started.
She has. She and Julie Blanchard are the two players been around since the beginning, and she is plays defense, but is a very much a utility player. She often jumps up into the attack, and they switch in and out with her. She's got a great shot, and she really reads the ice well for the passing. Just a great asset for this team.
Not to underestimate the power of veteran talent. A lot of these players have been in the championships before. Waterloo Wildfire walked away with 6th place last year. The year prior, they were the bronze medalists, so hunting for a higher position here. But we know BC coming in, again, 12th place last year. They really made an improvement. And the last time they won, actually, is 2012, the year after they were founded in 2011. So it's been a long time coming. Molly Chorney will be part of that effort. She's played a fantastic game yesterday as well. So coming in with some excellence from both sides, but particularly a good matchup. They saw each other earlier in the week. And Lucianne, you had some thoughts on what that looked like.
Yeah, I don't think that was a true reflection of the talents of either team. The final score in that game was 7-0 for BC. Waterloo just seemed to get off on the wrong foot in that game and never really found their space. They actually changed their goalie partway through the game, looking for, to try and rejuvenate, but just nothing seemed to work for them in that game at all. Surprisingly, though, it was not a penalty field game. It's only 6 minutes to each team, so we'll see what we get here today.
Yeah.
So Waterloo in the black, they're the home team. BC Thunder in the white as the visiting team. So that means that BC will start with the opening free pass. Our officials for today's game are Aaron Markle. Before we get to the officials, Aaron Markle, team captain for Waterloo, Team Canada player, and just an all-around great read on the play, great shot, great teamwork, great leadership. So we are expecting lots from her in this game as well.
She was all over the ice yesterday, just making her presence known. So it's lots to look forward to, and as you were saying, Lucianne, we've got a wonderful officials team. This is their gold medal game as well. So our shot clock operator, Mario Marriard, Alex Haynes, and
Laura Hickling. Yeah, so Mario, our shot clock operator, has officiated at Nationals before, hung up his blades, and now handling the remote and doing a great job with it. Alex Haynes from Kingston, Ontario. He's been at 2 World Ringette Championships and 10 CRCs. He's refereed this NRL gold medal before, and this is his first time refereeing it with his partner, Laura Hickling. Laura is from Cordis, Ontario. She has done 1 World Championship and 5 Canadian Championships. She did the NRL gold in 2024. So always great to see our officials striving to provide the best that they have for these athletes. And that's what the selection of the officials is about, is making sure we provide the best so that they can, so the players can have the best game.
Well, and for folks at home as well, the officials don't know who's going to get these games until the night before. It's, you know, their performance over the week is taken into account, their performance across the years, and so these folks are hand-selected for us, as you say, Lucienne, get best of the best for these matchups.
Yes, every game during the course of the week is watched by an officiating supervisor, and they pool their thoughts on the officials to select for today.
And brought to us by the Evolution Women's Wellness Center in Ajax, Ontario. So Evolution Women's Wellness Center offers compassionate OB/GYN care and advanced wellness treatments for every stage of womanhood. So thank you to Evolution Women's Wellness Center in Ajax, Ontario for sponsoring this gold medal game this afternoon. All right, looks like we've got Sarah McDonald in net and Samantha Gorgie in for Wildfire. No real surprise there. She was very strong in yesterday's game. It will be a goalie-on-goalie matchup here as much as it is a 5-on-5 matchup.
And this will be the goalies both will use an overhand throw sometimes when they are sending the ring out to their defensive teammates. So we'll keep an eye out for that.
Thunder starts with it at center. Gillespie finds an outlet. Back to Gillespie for safety. Markle already putting pressure on. Sending it down low. Fighting 2-on-1. Bouchard for Thunder picks it up. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Spins, gets it low. Thought she had something there. Goes to open ice instead. Wildfire back with the ring. Using the support. Jackie Senior passing it accidentally over to enemy territory. Now back with Thunder.
Yeah, Yolden had just turned the other way just as Senior was making that pass.
Dropped back through the legs. Hannison around on the outside, shoots far post. Gorgie gets a piece of it. Good early first look there now. Tries to move it to Hodge. Hodge to center. Center with Hannison. Hannison tries to step into center. She's met with some defensive power there. Julia Corey stepping right into that center position to take away that opportunity. Hannison had that good look. Just a hard wrist shot right to the stick side post. Gorgie got a piece of it now at center with Nozzle. Sydney Nozzle. Safe pass over to Duncan. Duncan down low to Paige Nozzle. Nozzle. Dropped it back. Anderson wanted to reset on that short shot. It'll make its way over to Thunder instead as they move out of their zone into the center. Takasaki now. With Beach. Beach fakes it like she was going to pass cross crease, continues the cycle, 10 seconds on the shot clock, drops it back. And there's a quick shot, tries to get it through traffic. Met by the defense into center now. Granger steps into it. down into the offensive zone. Wildfire facing some pressure there, doesn't get to stay for very long. Cycle continues. Pro dropping it over to Bouchard. Bouchard on the outside, 10 seconds on the shot clock here. Cuts across the top, gets a piece of it. Gorgie with the block.
And there you see that sidearm throw from Gorgie. And in this case, as soon as it crosses the blue line, the referee is counting 5 on that. The goalies are not allowed to throw it across the blue line. Just a violation, but...
Stuffs into Bouchard on the transition. Williams from the side, just picked off by Duncan. She stays strong in that defensive lane, taking away Williams' space. Williams still with it. Tries to get one through. The time will expire on the shot clock. Back to Gorgie for the goalie ring. Markle hits the brakes, turns around, wants to find an opening. Now with Senior. Senior spins away from that check. Hanson Fong now along the boards, drops it to Kibiaho. And they were 3-3-4 in the zone.
Yeah, Hanson Fong is generally a defense, and when she went in, one of her teammates didn't realize that Hanson Fong had gone in, so we ended up with 4 in there. They have control of the ring at that time, so it's just a whistle, just a violation.
Still tied. 4 minutes into this first quarter of the gold medal finals. Down low. Anderson. Across the top. Pass it to Simser. Simser in her feet, gets it now, shoots. Gorgie gets that right into her chest, keeps the ring inside the crease, picks it up, but time expires. Enough pressure on her.
And the thing is, too, with that shot, it's in Gorgie's pad, so it takes her 2.5 seconds to find the ring. So the 5 seconds count starts when the ring enters the crease, not when they can actually get a grip on the ring.
So Takasaki will start with the ring here in the circle, fakes it, goes for the board pass instead. Crow circles. Fakes the back a few times. Across the top, back over. Now a bouncing ring finds its way to Duncan's stick instead. Wildfire. Up center with Nozzle. Down to Anderson. A little bit too much on that for Anderson.
That's Ewan that comes up with the ring there.
Pushing it forward. Trying to get it to Kemp. Facing some...
And we're going to have our first penalty here.
Some physicality. And Lucianne, while Ringette is not traditionally what we would call a contact sport, it doesn't mean it's not a physical sport.
No, I mean, basketball is a non-contact sport as well. So, yeah, there is some physicality. It's just the nature of the game. You'll find the physicality in basketball as well. And that's not the only comparative. We have give and go passing. A crease pass, cross crease pass is like a low post. The 30-second shot clock, the triangle defense, all comparative to basketball.
Waterloo with their first power play of this game. 2-minute call to Grace Kemp. Puts them up on the power play now as Thunder is going to draw one themselves. Just as they were crossing that line, that'll be a body contact. McDonald was doing the long skate to her far bench as play gets blown down. To be number 2, Maddie McLean. 2 minutes for body contact. 1:38 remaining on the penalty to Kemp. So we'll be 4-on-4 for a little bit here. Thunder in the offensive zone. Still waiting for some...
That is a major, actually.
There you go. So that'll be a 4-minute penalty to Maddie McLean.
Yeah, so the major is that the initial contact was from behind on that particular play.
Torney will start. Again, faking that pass. Sliding with Bouchard there instead. 22 seconds on the shot clock. Back to Torney. Now over to Dick. Dick. She gets collapsed in on by that triangle. Keeps possession with Chorney. Chorney up top. Drops it into enemy territory. Wildfire just stepping into that. Hanson Fong had an eye. Moves it to center now. Nozzle fighting for it. Gets back with Chorney. Over the line with Rogers Horn. Rogers Horn with Chorney. Still time. 15 seconds on the shot clock as Bouchard crosses the top with Chorney. Chorney now with the ring. Sees the change up front. Senior skate gets in the way as Hannison was coming off the bench. There was something there, but Senior blocks it. Gillespie now. Moving it to Hannison. Now with Gillespie. Gillespie swapping in as the defense.
Yeah, they've got one in the box, so one of the defense usually steps up to help out.
Williams with speed gets that loose ring. There's a shot with Gorgie. She's being tested early, but staying strong. Nothing too complicated so far. 8 seconds remain on that initial penalty to Kemp. She'll be out of the box shortly. Now Gustafsson trying to bat things into her favor. Kiviaho instead poking it. Now Thunder on the power play here. Williams using the support across the ice to Gustafsson. Now down low. Using the change here for Takasaki. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Takasaki moves it to Beach. Beach had a bit of a misfire there. She didn't get enough power on that. Target looked good. She was out wide. Great pass. But ultimately now with the Wildfire at center. Now with Nozzle. Sid Nozzle. Half the shot clock remains. 1 minute and 33 remains on the major penalty to McLean. Nozzle back pass. Just past Duncan. Paige Nozzle steps in, takes the shot. Rebound goes to Nozzle. McDonald was there on the post. Strong. Knew where that ring was going to be. Takasaki looking. Finds Hodge. Clean pass into the zone. Now with Beach. She tried the back pass to Hodge. And Hanson Fong steps right into that lane. That's been she's been blocking a few of those high percentage plays, just keeping her stick active, getting in the way. And Yolden does a long pass to Jacoby, who is sneaking in behind the defense. Just a little bit too tight there. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Back to Yolden. Yolden sees it, shoots, goes wide. Gets a piece on the goaltender now. So reset, back to Yolden. Yolden crashes, gets one through. McDonald making it look easy, getting the toss out to the side. Now with Dick. They're on the power play. Thunder still up by one player. A lot of pressure here in the neutral zone. Chorney now.
And there's just 10 seconds left in that major penalty. A great kill so far by Waterloo.
Williams behind the net now as the penalty expires. 5-on-5 action resumes. Williams using the space available. Back to Chorney. Chorney to Bouchard. A battle between Chorney, Bouchard, and Senior. Now Wildfire with Markle. Markle cycling. Markle stays out wide. Kemp gets a piece of it. Drops it to Kiviaho. Fakes it, shoots, goes wide. Markle. And enough of a power on that shot for it to bounce off of McDonald. Thunder. Starting the transition up into the zone. Simser. Simser across over to Parody. Parody down. Simser. Simser steps in, saw the lane. The ring hits a defensive leg with Hanson Fong in the way. Corgi with the easy toss. Hanson Fong. To Nozzle, Paige Nozzle. Good positioning there from Thunder to channel her away from that center part of the ice. Now Sid Nozzle. Back to Senior. Senior fake shoots. Tries to go 5-hole. McDonald closing that quickly.
And Senior jumped up on that play when Sid Nozzle got pushed out at the free play line there. So, again, some great thinking out there.
Now with Crow. She's got 10 seconds on the shot clock here, Crow. Back to Takasaki.
And we're under 2 minutes here in regulation first quarter.
Crow down low. Tried to find Beach. Beach shoots. Gets the rebound. Fighting for it. Mixed it up with speed. Senior pushes that ring up with her stick. Now follows that pass. She's got one up with Paige Nozzle.
And everybody going for a change here. We've gone a long stretch here without a whistle.
Tiviaho to Yolden. Yolden, one of the top offensive players on this team. She wants one. Back pass to Markle. Markle shoots. McDonald gets her shoulder on it. Back to Markle. Just over a minute remaining in this initial quarter. Granger. Good communication to step in. Over to Yolden, making the swap. Yolden assessing. Where does she want to go? Kept out wide. Back to Markle. Markle up front to Yolden. Yolden fake shoots. Got a little bit of a deflection as it went towards the net. McDonald had to readjust in real time, but keeps things out of the net. Gets the toss here. Easy one to the side. And that was a struggle for Thunder yesterday, was the goalie ring.
That's right.
That was a clean one.
So we're in the last 30 seconds here.
Thunder trying to make a last opportunity. Picked up here. And again, Williams stealing the ring back. Finds Chorney. Chorney with it in her skates. Back to Williams. Williams shoots. Goes blocker side. There was something there. She picks up the rebound, just flying around that zone. Williams, she's got 9 seconds counting down. They're making a swap. They don't know how much time they have. They need to shoot.
They hear the goalie banging her stick there, trying to let them know.
Madison all on her own.
And that is it. Yeah, normally we hear the goalie banging the stick when the shot clock is running down, when it gets inside 10 seconds. But we also hear it with that in that final, those dying seconds of the game clock.
Well, and it's a rowdy crowd today, so hard to hear some of those bangs and whistles. And
the shot clock, so in that last 30 seconds at the next reset, the shot clock operator is going to stop it and leave it at 30. So if the players take a glance at that clock and it's not moving, they know they're under 30 seconds on the game clock. But yes, we have some very enthusiastic fans in behind us here. A wonderful drum from one of the BC fans. So kudos to them. We love having fans like this.
It looks like a lot of the teams from throughout the week have come to support. Again, gold medal final. Everything is on the line for these two teams. BC coming in from 12th place last year. 6th place for Waterloo Wildfire. Both of these teams fighting hard to get to this moment. So they're talking on their benches right now, setting up their game plan for the next quarter.
So one of the things we like to do here is give a big thank you to the host committee and all of the volunteers who've come out to support this event. Really, we can't do it without the army that's involved in staging an event like this and making it the best they can to showcase the talents of these athletes as they deserve. So thank you to the host committee that's been planning for at least 2 years, probably 3 or 4, that they've been all the volunteers, the timekeepers, scorekeepers, the people that greet you at the door, the ones that direct you to your dressing room, the ones that take the money for the fans to come in and pay to see such an amazing display of talent. So thank you to the host committee.
Waterloo with the ring now. Hoping to be the team that strikes first. Duncan over to Granger. Short pass on the boards to get it over to offense. Jacoby kept on the outside. 10 seconds on the shot clock here. Jacoby over to McLean. McLean steps in. Had a look, goes high. Time winding down on the shot clock as B-Wall spins and shoots.
They got the bounce off of McDonald, and then the shot clock did expire. So it goes back to Waterloo. BC, the save by McDonald there does not count as control for the shot clock, so that's why it goes back to Waterloo.
Making a play in the corner here. Markle picked up off of that. She was not expecting that check to come through. She'll find the ring herself in neutral. Needs an outlet. Passes it high. We're getting a delayed call on Thunder here. Kiviaho now. Drops it to Markle. Markle sees the low pass with Yolden. Now to Markle. Down to Yolden. Yolden steps in, shoots, sits in.
Yes.
Yolden scores. 1-0. Waterloo Wildfire.
So that's on that delayed penalty to BC. So Waterloo with 4 skaters in there. Yolden, similar to LaRock, uses the natural screen of the defender, puts it between the legs, and McDonald really doesn't have a great view on it.
Kelsey Yolden opening up the scoring in this gold medal final. The Waterloo Wildfire up by 1. Lots of game left. Will Thunder respond? We're back to 5-on-5 with that goal.
So Waterloo drawing first blood here.
Ewan trying to find some friendly sticks down low. Finds Crow. Crow starting the skate. 10 seconds on the shot clock here. Makes the move down to Beach. Beach still holding on. Trying to get it to a teammate.
That was picked up just a little bit early by Sid Nozzle at the line there. It has to, her stick cannot cross into the line. If the ring's on the line, she can grab it, but her stick can't cross the line. And referee holding their position right on that line to make sure they're getting the call correct.
Beach makes the pass to the boards. Now with the cycle here. Sakasaki. And a block up center with Yolden putting her stick down. Takes that away. Yolden fighting. Comes out with it. Has speed. You can feel some of that energy building on this Wildfire team with that goal. But pressure from Beach makes her restart that cycle. Needs some space. 10 seconds on the shot clock now with Jacoby at center. She's got one on. Yolden by herself. Dying seconds of the shot clock. Bewald on the side. Had they had a bit more time, that would have been an excellent opportunity.
Yeah, but Beach did a great job in keeping Yolden in her own end for 12, 15 seconds there.
Now returning the favor. Miss Bouchard tries to get it out. Finds Chorney. Chorney tries to get it to Williams, but Bouchard will find her way through instead. We have a delayed call here on Bewald's body contact. Just getting a little bit too in the way on that play there, playing more of the body positioning than the ring.
Yeah, and when your opponent has their position, you know, in that case, BC had the position, and Bewald just didn't give time and space there on it.
So that'll be another power play opportunity for BC Thunder with Parity starting off in the circle. Over to Simser. Simser goes on the brakes. Tries to cut in, but she's picked off by Nozzle at center. Keeps the ring inside the zone. Parity to Hannes, and Hannes shoots. A lot of muscle on that one, but Gorgie was ready. Down on the ice. Takes the easy pass away. Thunder putting pressure on as the ring now is able to move into center with Markle. Markle looking for an outlet. They're down a player with the penalty, so 4 on 5. A little bit harder to break into the neutral zone at that point. 10 seconds on the shot clock here. Markle to Yulden. Yulden with speed. Tried to get the shot. BC going down. McDonald had committed to it. Slides.
And a shot, another shot clock expiry, but some great pressure from Waterloo.
Feel again that energy building. Thunder still looking for their first goal here. Crow now still on the power play for the next 55 seconds. Gillespie passes that in, gets out for the change. Now Takasaki looks low, finds Crow. Crow steps into the crease. Great defensive play by Senior to keep her out and swipe that ring away as she tried to walk through that crease. Back pass support to Henton Fong. It is hooked up to Hodge. Hodge on her own. And she'll get a call on her as she tried to take that shot in tight. There's 3 Wildfire players collapsed in on her.
So this will put BC in the position of a 3-on-2 for 23 seconds.
Senior will go to the box to Mr. Slashing. And 23 seconds is a decent amount of time to start this 3-on-2. Get yourself a little bit settled. This might be BC's best opportunity in this game so far.
So far, yes, it should be. So, who got out defending for Waterloo?
We've got Duncan, and we've got Granger.
Yeah, 2 very experienced defense.
Low up high to Bouchard. Fakes, gets Gorgie to commit, passes it off to Williams, just fans on it. Gorgie had gone down, back to Bouchard. Bouchard back up to Crow. Courtney fires it high. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Need the reset for 5-on-5. 4-on-3 now. 5-on-4.
And there's that unorthodox sidearm throw.
And Thunder's going to go to the box here.
We're going to have a penalty to BC coming up.
Williams fighting for it. That'll be a body contact.
Okay, so we've got a body contact penalty to BC, but we also have the stoppage in play was for a move it or lose it.
Yeah.
Which had nothing to do with the penalty, so that will be Waterloo's ring.
So a minute and
But it's
14
Waterloo's ring in
remaining
center ice. Normally on a penalty stoppage, it's down in the attacking zone. So the referee's just going to have a chat about it.
Yeah, just a little bit more of a taking the body than the ring on the boards there.
Oh.
So we'll set up in Waterloo offensive territory.
Okay, so still a minute and 16 left on the penalty to Senior, so it's going to be 4-on-4.
Shot down low, just off the free pass. Paige Nozzle using the element of surprise, but McDonald was strong on that post. Anton Fong winning the foot race here. Using the supports for 4-on-4 still here. And a long cry down the ice from Nozzle to get that pass. Now Yulden over to Paige Nozzle. She uses the outlet over in the safety of the sideboards with Sid Nozzle. Time winding down on the shot clock here. Now Yulden over to Nozzle. Back to Yulden. She steps and shoots. She was looking for that similar placement from the outside of the triangle. It worked for her before. That's why they're up 1. But McDonald gets a piece of it. Kemp in the neutral zone. Sees Bouchard's call, but Nozzle uses her stick to whack that ring down out of midair. 14 seconds remain on the penalty to Waterloo. Chorney shoots. Takes the shot from out wide as she was reaching into the crease there, or the triangle off the bench. Now Waterloo on the power play. 35 seconds remain on the penalty here as they get into position with Granger. Granger to Markle. Markle pushing through. Now she's got everybody on her. Anderson gets the ring over to McDonald, but she puts a glove on it. Keeps that with herself. Passes it to her defense. Gustafsson trying to make the right call here. Bouchard coming out with it, sending it into open ice down low. The penalty is expiring. We are back to 5-on-5 action here. Nothing to report on from the power play opportunity. As Jacoby circles. Tries to send it through center, but Takasaki steps up, gets the ring, tries to get it behind the net as McDonald actively becomes involved in that. It's poked over the line. Granger with the support to Kiviaho, moving things quickly. Jacoby in for support. Everyone bunched up here. Kiviaho now to Yulden. To Senior. Senior shoveling with the backhand. Gets some power, but not in tight. In tight to that net. So harder to do. Yulden stealing it away at center ice. And they'll step on it. So that'll be a whistle.
Yeah, Bewald trying to pick that up, just gets caught up on her feet. She ends up stepping on it. So the referees will check for cuts on the ring, and it will be BC's free pass.
BC wants to respond here. They're within one. That's okay. You know, still very, very, very doable even in this quarter. Just need to find that magic sauce that gets past Gorgie, who's been standing strong so far. Now to Simser. Simser down to Parody. Parody's spinning. She sees pressure. Simser going hard. That's Madison now. Madison to Simser. Simser had the opportunity, met through traffic.
So great job there by, I don't think that was Hannison.
Yeah.
Great job by Hannison to pick up that loose ring. She knows there's minimal time left on the clock and just shoves it off of Gorgie to get that free pass back. McDonald was, he could bang her stick pretty hard, but as you say, we've got some drums here too that make it very difficult to hear.
All the sounds mixing together. Torney. Now Bouchard. Now with Torney. Fighting at the center with Markle. Shoots, goes wide. Had the top corner as her target. 8 seconds. Bouchard gets the shot and her own rebound. Drops it behind. No one was there. Ewan to Bouchard. Back to Williams. Settles it for the change here.
Some confusion there between Markle and Yolden as to who was going in, but good save by Yolden.
Takasaki. Up front, moves it back. Hodge. Shoots from about the goal line. Needed a reset. Gorgie will keep it with her and wants to hold it down.
Yeah,
it's been a while since they've had the...
She's getting the message from her defense that they needed a change.
Great communication between the teammates.
That's right. It's you want to have them both working. You want to have them all working together, and when you get that kind of communication, so you can get the fresh legs out there and not cost yourself a disadvantage.
Crow to Takasaki. Slides it into the middle. Hodge just couldn't get that one. Jacoby now at center. Now with speed is Granger. Granger pushing her way through. And a really successful channel there from Gustafsson, but she's looking like she may have got called on that. Yulden. to Nozzle. Nozzle back, there's 4 in the zone. Because of that delayed call, but whistle will stop play. And we will have a power play here. Gustafsson doing, again, a good job with the channel. But just at the end there, getting caught up in that play. They're calling holding. Now with Dick. Finds Rogers' horn. It just skates through it. Madison will pick that up instead, spinning away from her threat. Taking it behind the net, circling. Up top now. Sees the outside shot, gets it. Gorgie keeps it within her crease. Settles it. Over to Senior. Senior to Anderson. Back to Senior for the support. Now Yolden. Long stretch pass to Nozzle. Sid Nozzle. She's got dying seconds here. She passes it to Yolden. Yolden down to Anderson. She shoots. Sarah McDonald ready on that post. Thunder still down a player as Bedard gets the ring across the line to Chorney. Chorney with some speed starts the cycle. 54 seconds remain in the penalty. Bouchard making some decisions out front here. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Cuts in, shoots, goes high. And the shot clock will expire. Giving it back to Gorgie. Had that opening in the defense, so Jacoby now at center to Kiviaho. Just over a minute remains in the second quarter. Waterloo still up by 1. Jacoby tries to slide it to Kiviaho. Kiviaho keeps the ring. Tries to move it. Markle, she makes a move. Sarah McDonald right on top of it. McDonald caught up in the frenzy. Keeps the positioning strong. A little bit of a sequence there in front of the net. Waterloo trying to take advantage of some of the holes that were starting to show in that triangle as it got stretched out. McDonald keeping things within 1. Thunder still looking to strike as we stay in the zone here for Wildfire. 10 seconds on this power play. Back to Yolden. Yolden shoots. Looks like McDonald got a piece of it. Nozzle between the legs, fires it. That was successful on the other goal. Keeps it out of the net. Just under 30 seconds here. Senior spins as the ring's picked off of her. There'll have been a little bit of a crease violation there, so McDonald will grab the ring, but possession will find its way back to Wildfire. 20.4 seconds in this first half of our game. Markle to Kiviaho on the boards. Kiviaho cycles. Drops it back to Senior, who swapped with Markle. Great communication on that play with Senior. She's usually the defense. Trying to get through, find a lane. Last second. Jacoby tries it out on McDonald. But still, 1-0 as we make our way into the half. Wildfire up by 1 off of a screen shot through the 5-hole. Chelsea Yolden kicking things off here for the gold medal final. National Ringette League. This is the best of the best. Thank you for tuning in. We will continue to have action. Don't go away. We've got 2 extra quarters of 13 minutes to close things out. And if they are tied at that end of that, they will go to an overtime. There will be a winner. Someone is walking home with a gold medal today. So stick with us. Go refill your popcorn. Get your coffee. Waterloo Wildfire up by 1 as we enter the half. first look for Hannison there. Borgie doing a great job of keeping things settled today. Sarah McDonald standing strong in the crease. Anderson on the low post. McDonald was there. We're at the halfway point for this gold medal final here in the Nepean Sportsplex, Ottawa, Ontario, bringing you second year of Canadian Ringette Championships action. This is the National Ringette League, bringing you an interview now.
Okay, and it's Lucianne Inglesby here with the co-chairs of the committee for the Canadian Ringette Championships, Christian Ewan and Phyllis Berkowitz. So, first question. When did you volunteer for this, and how did you get the host back-to-back?
Well, that's a good question. The Ringette Canada had put out an RFP back in 2023, and the RFP was for 1, 2, or 3 years. How long do you want to host for? So we went to the board of the City of Ottawa Ringette Association and said we really want to do this. And so we put in a bid, and Ringette Canada awarded us the 2-year hosting rights.
So did you ask for the 2 years?
We did. Yes, we did.
And why?
For a number of reasons. One is we're hoping that 2 years would give us the consistency of do it once, find out all the hiccups, and then do it a second time. We love this event. We think it would be great for the City of Ottawa, which it has been. And we have such a strong Ringette community here in the Ottawa region. We knew that we would get the support every which way we asked for it.
And right from the get-go, did you choose to host on the east side of the city last year and then the west side this year?
So we had a bid that was fairly flexible in terms of what arenas that we would hold the championships in. But in conversation with Ringette Canada, we wanted to give certain athletes that are returning for those 2 consecutive years a different experience. We also wanted to show our sister associations across the city that we wanted to give them an opportunity to also attend the championships and enjoy that, because we're such a long city along the river, and so folks on the west end didn't get the experience here. So we moved to the west end to give those associations in the west the same opportunity that those in the east had to volunteer, to witness this amazing sport, and just to be totally engulfed in the experience that is the Canadian Ringette Championships.
So how pleased are you that you took this on?
I want a 3rd year.
I'm sorry, it's coming to me in Halifax.
Going to you in Halifax.
We actually, our bid was actually for 3 years. We did it as a bit of hedging our bets in terms of winning the championships, and so when we were offered the first 2, we took it. So I don't know if we would have taken 3, but we put in for 3. So we were happy to see it go to Halifax, and many of the committees and volunteers will be there next year.
You've had great volunteers, and I've heard compliments even just from the arena staff about how great the organization of this event was and how great Ringette people are.
Absolutely. The best part of this championships, in my view, is those conversations we're having with the volunteers, with the spectators, with the athletes who are just enjoying this experience, and that makes me feel good. It makes us feel good. There were ups and downs in the organization over the 2 to 3 years, highs and lows that you get in any kind of thing like this, but every minute today proves that it was worth everything that we put into this.
Okay, and congratulations on hosting such a successful event. I wasn't here last year, but I've certainly enjoyed the experience this year. So kudos to you and to your whole army of volunteers.
Thank you, Lucianne.
Okay, and we'll take it back to upstairs.
Thank you, Lucianne. Those are the co-chairs of the 2025-2026 CRCs. We appreciate them so much. We'll be back after with the action for the gold medal final after these messages. We're back at the halftime for this gold medal final. BC Thunder versus Waterloo Wildfire. 1-0 going into the half. Join us in a few minutes. We'll bring you second half of the action.
Ringette is a Canadian game designed exclusively for girls. Basically, it is played on ice with a ring and a bladeless stick. It was invented in Ontario in the mid-1960s, and ever since it's been soaring in popularity. Today, there are between 50 and 60,000 girls in Canada who play Ringette, and 350 of those gathered here in Winnipeg for the first ever Canadian Championships. 16-year-old Lisa Lowe has been playing Ringette for 9 years. She is a center for a team from Ajax, Ontario. Tell me how you got started in Ringette 9 years ago.
When I had to go undercover, I was supposed to say I was 8 years old, but I really wasn't, so that's how I started.
And Lisa finished this game with 1 goal and 1 assist. In the second period, Ontario outscored Manitoba 5-3 to win 8-6.
I hope it goes in the history books. I'll probably remember it for the rest of my life. I'll probably tell it to my grandchildren.
Well, that was a great little throwback to 1979, Lucianne. I mean, we've talked about it in the bronze game, but our wonderful sport of Ringette, as we know very unbiasedly, is the best in the world, has come a long way, and a lot of the newer elements, as we see today, we didn't start with the original games, things like shot clock. We used to have the colored sticks for the different positions. The extended zone came into play in, I believe, the late 80s. So our game has come a long way. We had a couple new rules this year. But you've been a part of that history.
Yes, I have. I actually started playing in 69-70 in Kitchener, Waterloo, and I played in that first Canadian Championships in 1979. We won the gold medal.
Hey!
So I can say I've been there, done that.
There you go.
And it was quite interesting when Manitoba, so the first Canadian Championships were hosted in Winnipeg, and they hosted again in 2018 for the 50th year. And I still had my program from 1979 and provided it to the host committee there, and they reprinted some parts of it to do a comparative for 2018. And I don't need political commentary, but the Prime Minister for 1979 was Pierre Elliott Trudeau, and in 2018 it was his son Justin Trudeau. So we had welcome letters from both of them. And then the other thing with those games is you saw some of those pictures, and we still had the tracksuits, and we had the Bauer Ringette specials, as there is in Gerald's history collection. Yep. Gerald Lemereau had the history collection over at the Sportsplex the last few days. But we had you know, it's just so in 2018, what Winnipeg did is in their opening ceremonies, they also did a display of uniforms through the decades. So they had players coming out onto the stage in the uniforms from 1979. We saw them in that video with the brown pants with the buffaloes down the side stripe and the yellow tops or gold. And they did that with that event, and they actually had any of us who had participated in that 1979 event, they had us come on stage as well. So there was quite a number of people. I was with the officiating crew. Iris Todd had played for Saskatchewan at that event. Iris is a shot clock operator at this event, has been our director of officials in the past, has been an official at CRC's. So there was a few of us, but the interesting thing I heard there was the Manitoba team that played in what was then the DEB division, which would be the equivalent of our NRL, although our skills didn't come close to what we see today.
The open division.
Open division now. So they actually had a great get-together that entire opening weekend with reminiscing and getting out for meals together and just sharing all the memories of not only that specific event, but their years in Ringette. And we see Edmonton Wham, I think I've mentioned, all of their bench staff used to play for the Edmonton Wham. We've got bench staff on the BC bench. Jennifer Rogers has played for many, many years out of Alberta. We've got Nicole Jepkema is coaching the BCU 19 team. Her father actually coached the Canada Games team for BC in 1999 in Newfoundland. So just, I love seeing the history here. Carly Ross is coaching, I believe it's U16 team out of Alberta. Sherry Markle is the coach for Waterloo Wildfire, and she's been around playing for years and years. She played AA. Her brother refereed at a Canadian Championship. Paul Yolden, the assistant coach, has two daughters playing. One playing here for Waterloo, and the other one playing for the Rocky Mountain Rage. Yep. Paul used to coach here in the Ottawa area, and both of his daughters played with him then. We also have Jen Gaudette on that bench, and it's her sister. Jacqueline Senior is her sister. Both of them played in Cambridge growing up with the Cambridge Turbos, and their father Glenn was a longtime coach with them. On the BC side, we have Troy Takasaki, and then, as I said, Nicole Jepkema is an assistant coach on this roster, head coach on U19, I believe. And she's been around for many, many years, and like I said, her father coached her. So for me, it's been a great week to catch up with people.
Everyone knows you, Lucienne. It's amazing. You walk anywhere, and everyone wants to say hello and bug you.
Well, Jen Krochak, coach for Edmonton Wham, her daughter is on that team. Her daughter also played at Canada Games in 2023. And I mentioned yesterday that Kristen made a move on the ice that was so reminiscent of her mother.
It's genetic.
It is, and it was good stuff. So it was Jen Willen back in the day, and she was a prolific scorer for the previous versions of Edmonton Wham. So I am just loving this week for that. But the history is great, but what we've got on the ice today is just amazing, and I really have appreciated the advances we've made in our sport so that we can see such skill out here. I don't get tired of it ever.
Me neither.
Okay, so we've got the BC Thunder back out here on the ice. Waterloo, I'm sure, will make their way out here soon. Halftime is the full flood, and we get it'll be interesting to see how they come out here for their second half. They've had their time in the dressing room, probably some instruction or adjustments from the coaches. Captains often have a say when they're in there. Sometimes the goalies as well, because officially the goalies cannot be a captain. They are not eligible to wear a C during the game, but with these two goalies, you've got such leadership out here. That I'm sure that they would not sit back from offering some suggestions based on their view at the back end of the ice.
And we've got some, rookie talent on both sides, some younger players on both sides, but then they're also anchored by that veteran talent. A lot of these athletes have been here before. But like we said, BC Thunder last year came in 12th place. Now look at them go. Obviously an improvement. Wildfire, same thing. They were in 6th. Both of them will come out with a medal today. But this next 26 minutes will determine which color goes to which team.
That's right. And so, again, as we said, it's the visiting team, BC, starting our free pass to begin play here.
Gillespie into the corner for Chorney. Again, that fresh ice making things move fast here. Chorney picking it up. Dropping it to Bouchard. Bouchard. Back pass. Finds Chorney. Chorney shoots. Doesn't make it all the way through to the net. Still loose in the skates. Ring moving over to Gorgie. Drop pass support to Senior. Out of Nozzle. Nozzle spinning from her check. Losing that ring. It's tied up. And Hanson Fong comes in for the support. Scooping that ring up at center. Now over to Nozzle. Nozzle with the one-handed fight around the boards. She makes her way. Passes it up front. And just as the shot clock expires, Jacoby. She had the opening. McDonald.
And Jacoby was in the quarterfinal. Got that last second shot to win that match over Atlantic Attack with a similar type of shot as she just took there.
Jacoby fighting at center with Hannison. Hannison pushing her way through the crowd, keeping the ring on her stick, getting it to Gustafsson. Gustafsson to Hannison. Now with Granger. Shot clock expired. Just wasted a little bit of that time in the neutral zone.
So great pressure from Waterloo to really limit BC's chance to even get it through the neutral zone into the Waterloo end. So unusual, but we've got the free pass at center ice on that shot clock expiring.
Waterloo up by 1. That goal came early from Kelsey Yulden. They want to stretch out this lead. Now Duncan goes over to Bewald. Bewald shoots. I think they've got a piece of the post. Bobbles through the crease. Wildfire maintaining it here with McLean. McLean on the outside of the triangle. Slides it into center. Bouncing ring gets back to McLean. She shoots. McDonald with the save. Jacoby strong on the boards as the Thunder was really pushing that up. Rogers Horn trying to move it out. And now it's swiped up by Parody. She gets it behind her back to Hodge. Hodge circling. Changes happening on the fly. She gets it out to Crow. Crow fresh on this ice. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Still some time. Crow out wide spins, takes down the center, shoots, just goes high. And the reset attempt stays with Gorgie. Markle makes the tap, so now Kiviaho with speed into the corner. Takasaki comes out victorious. Kemp in her own zone. To Crow. Crow stuck up with Duncan now, 2-on-2. Duncan doing what she does best, muscling her way into traffic with that ring. Now Kiviaho slides it into center with Senior. Senior didn't see anything that she liked, continued in. She was tight to that crease. Now to Nozzle. Nozzle pushed out, keeps the cycle going, drops it. And the shot there gets the reset. Really, with that speed, is Sid Nozzle crashes through the center and the D, gets tripped up. She'll get the penalty called from that play. Body contact will go to Thunder, and Waterloo will get the power play once again. And that all came from the really fast skating crashing through the center and the D. Nozzle really just wanted to create that space, and because it was such a speedy play, the center and the D were overwhelmed, collapsed in, and played the body rather than the ring.
Yeah, and that's just like we talked about yesterday. When you're trying to push through that triangle, high or low, if you're going high, it's a little easier to draw the penalty.
Nozzle shoots, looks for the 5-hole. McDonald closes it. Had some space there. Gillespie moving it to Bouchard. A bit too much on that now. It's with Senior. Getting channeled by Chorney. Putting pressure on her to keep her on the outside. Now to McLean. McLean's got space. She shoots. Keeps it lower. And now spinning is Jacoby. She had the side of the net open. On that rebound, just goes wide. McDonald was down. They still keep the ring here with Bewald. Bewald to McLean. McLean steps up, shoots. Saw that opening. McDonald gets her pad in the way. Looking for that low swat. Hannison in her own zone. 55 seconds on the power play for the Waterloo Wildfire. Now over to Hannison, who skates backwards, transition forward, spins, gets taken down. Williams will pick up that loose ring. 10 seconds on the shot clock, comes around the top, cuts through, shoots. Gorgie gets it with her pads. Duncan to Jacoby, to Duncan with speed. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Passing it behind the net to Bewald. Bewald back with support to Yulden. Fresh onto the ice. 15 seconds on the power play. Senior steps in with Yulden. Yulden just misses that quick stab there. Bouchard, support in the neutral zone to Dick. Back to Bouchard. Bouchard with speed. Shoots. It goes off the Senior's skate. 20 now. Along the boards. 10 seconds on that shot clock. Keeping that ring moving, going low to Beach. Beach loves that. She puts it on net. The ring almost escapes the crease. And pressure leaves it with Thunder. One-handed to Chorney. She's going to get a penalty drawn on that. Now Kemp up front. Yulden keeping her out at center. Sending the 4 in the zone, adding the extra player in on that delayed call. Starting to set up this box positioning here. Now Chorney over to Bouchard. She shoots. The rebound's outside of the crease, not in control yet. They managed to keep it. 25 seconds on the shot clock. Lots of time still on this delayed call. Bouchard just fumbles it. And Kiviaho is at the line to take that one. They managed to get that reset, Lucienne. That was pretty impressive.
That is. I mean, so here we see, just the stick up way too high on that check. So it's going to be a slashing penalty to Granger. Yeah.
And Simser is going to start out with the ring in the circle.
Yeah, but that's the thing with that shot clock. Waterloo had to get control for that stoppage, and as long as there's a shot on net, there will be a reset.
Parody drops it back to Hannison. Hannison choosing to go low on that one. Borgie on the post. Gets it to a black jersey now with Duncan. Duncan with speed, pushing things up to Nozzle. Nozzle pokes it over the line.
Yep.
And her sister will scoop that right up.
You can see the official right away indicating that was touched so that the players know that it's open for them to play.
That pass comes up short now with Thunder. Gillespie turning. Still on the power play here. Thunder working it into the zone with Simser. Simser drops it back. Now with Hodge. Hodge tries to find Crow. Time is winding down on the shot clock. 4 seconds here. Crow spins, shoots it, goes wide. The 30 seconds are up.
Just under a minute, 50 seconds left here in the penalty to Waterloo.
Markle using the support along the boards. Hanson Fong with speed, finding that pressure, getting the ring through. Jacoby getting back under her feet, but her stick was flexing like crazy there. I thought it was going to break for sure.
We don't want to talk about the sticks we had in 1979. They didn't have flex.
Senior had an opening, but Dick took that away. Still gets the shot off, but not much of an angle there. McDonald's there. Now with Senior.
And we're going to get that on both sides of the line there by Senior.
8 seconds remaining in the power play for Thunder. They haven't had much to do with it. They haven't been able to set too much up here. Waterloo's still largely maintaining the possession. A couple small mistakes leading to turnovers in the neutral zone.
Yeah, and then Waterloo is using up as much time as they can to help kill off that penalty.
Setting the tone here. Ewan to Chorney. Chorney drops it to Bouchard. Circles. Fakes. Drops it to Chorney. Chorney spins, shoots high.
And that one actually goes over the glass. So again, one of those unusual situations where we'll actually have a free pass instead of a goalkeeper ring. Because we've had to take the time to retrieve the ring, and thank you to those folks in the corner.
Those things are expensive. What are they, like $9 now?
Something like that.
Something crazy like that?
I usually try and get donations when I take them to Prague. Okay, so Waterloo back at full strength.
Now at center. Kiviaho seeing pressure with Kemp. Using the support in Duncan. Duncan, she's finding it challenging to get past Chorney and Bouchard. Now Williams gets taken down behind the net. Over to Nozzle. Sydney Nozzle steps up, fakes it, uses the space beyond the ringette line. Still cycling. Tries to break through, passes it low instead. Now back up to Yolden. Yolden didn't quite get the stab on that. Continues her way through. Keeps possession. Now to Jacoby. Jacoby up front. Moves it over. Thought Yolden could pick it up. Thunder now instead.
And again, Waterloo, like Edmonton, has gone back to a zone defensive play. Just trying to block the lanes.
Hanson Fong with speed. Chorney committing behind the net to that check. Jacoby to Markle. Now Jacoby up front. Just a little bit too much for Yolden. She gets it, but doesn't get the shot opportunity quite yet. 10 seconds remain, and that pass was deflected back over to Thunder. Hannison sees an open Parody. Parody. Easy stab. 15 seconds on the shot clock as their line changes. Takasaki fakes. Uses the space. Needs to get a reset here. Passes it directly into Granger, who will get it over to Yolden. Yolden sending it out far. Gustafsson winning the foot race against Nozzle. Gustafsson is strong. Throwing on the brakes, throwing off that check. So for all that effort, sending it to the other Nozzle. Now Waterloo at center. Inside the zone with Jacoby. Nozzle throws on some speed there up top. Now to Anderson. Makes the change, so now Anderson has it. Throws it back. Anderson down low. Wanted the reset on that, but McDonald doesn't let it happen. Keeps it with her. The time will expire on the 5 count. Great coverage from Waterloo.
Great coverage there. So we've got 1 minute and 15 left here in this third quarter. And Waterloo with the ring in the BC end. Really a lot of pressure here by Waterloo and not giving BC any space in the center ice there. Waterloo is setting up a zone defense there rather than man on and just trying to stuff the lanes, and it's been very successful with it so far.
Ewald to McLean. McLean to Jacoby. Jacoby back to Ewald. She was on the post. McDonald saw it. Moved there in time. There will be a penalty on the play. Boarding. 1 minute remains in this third quarter. Still 1-0. We walked into this second half of the game 1-0. The energy's there. But both goaltenders have been very, very strong. And we knew that, Lucienne, when we came into this game, that goaltending was going to be a big difference maker. So that'll be Bouchard. 2 minutes for boarding. Waterloo again on the power play. Having a bit of a, team chat to figure out what the strategy here is.
Yeah, with, as you say, your term that you like to use, we've got 2 shot clocks left in this quarter.
Now Markle. Being kept out, passing it to Yolden. Yolden up top, fires it over to Markle. Takes the back pass over to Senior. Senior stepping into the zone, swapping with Markle. Now down to Yolden. Time winding down here. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Shoots! And it's in! McDonald wasn't prepared! 1 second left on the shot clock. 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Senior fires it home. 2-0. Waterloo Wildfire. Just completely unprepared.
Yeah, I think she really thought that the shot clock was going to expire on that play, so she was waiting for the ring to come back to her, but not in that fashion.
Wow. What a goal.
So Waterloo taking full advantage of that opportunity. Now, question from the BC coach. Talking to the shot clock operator.
Just trying to get that probably clarified. But the shot clock, Mario, the shot clock operator, had stopped at 1 second. It didn't expire.
So, and that's one of the things that the very experienced shot clock operators, when there's a whistle, they will stop the shot clock rather than reset it. So we can actually see that time that's remaining.
And we know it's in line with that whistle. So 1 second on that shot clock gives the 2-goal lead to Wildfire in this gold medal game. Jacqueline Senior firing it all the way to the back of the net on an unsuspecting McDonald. As we close things off in the third quarter here, we have 13 more minutes of regular time to bring to you.
And even here on this play, BC didn't seem to understand that they were running out of time on the game clock. At that whistle there, the player with the ring seemed kind of surprised.
Which was surprising because we had that goal at 30 seconds remaining. You typically would look at the clock at that point and know, okay, time's counting down at this point. But, these are high pressure situations. As much as these players are, most of them are very experienced. Most of them, I would say, have been to multiple nationals. It's still, you have to have that mental capacity to be able to shut everything down around you and just play your game.
That's right. So yeah, as we said, like I said, this experienced shot clock operators, they will stop the shot clock at every whistle and make sure it's proper. It's appropriate to have a reset. But we don't have very many situations where we don't have a reset.
Yes.
But the odd ones are on an injury. If the team that's got the ring at the whistle, if it's one of their team that's injured, there's no reset. They don't lose the ring, but they don't get a reset. If it was an opposing player that was injured, they do get a reset. So there's things like that. Sometimes we get a tie-up on the boards that the checking team isn't they're only trying to stuff the player. They're not actually trying to check her. So we may give it back to the team that's got the ring. And then again, in that case, there's no reset. But those, like I said, those situations are rare. So kudos
but important.
Yeah. So kudos to Mario.
Yes.
For stopping that clock, so everybody here could see that there was still time left on that shot clock.
Exactly.
So Waterloo, as the home team, will have the free pass to start this final regulation quarter. And of course, both teams at full strength as the player got out of the penalty box on that goal.
And a little bit of a fumble there at the line causes a change in possession.
Came off of Golden's feet and then contact with her stick when she crossed.
Just a little bit of a misfire on the pass. And Thunder sending that right into enemy territory, picking up that turnover now with Kiviaho. She's got speed, followed very closely by an active center with Bouchard. Fighting for it along the boards here. Wanting to get it into neutral territory to start the cycle again, get some safe passes in. Yolden makes the decision to move things back out, get things back in. Now she's there with the ring. 15 seconds on the shot clock here. Moves it to Senior. Senior spins, gets it up front to Yolden. Yolden sees an opportunity to shoot. Faked it one way, goes high just above the crossbar. McDonald had her sight on it, but from my angle, which was basically Yolden's angle, there was room.
There, yes. Yes, there was. This Yolden went a little high on that, so.
Hodge getting some pressure. Sending it into the quarter for Hannison. Hannison. 8 seconds on the shot clock, getting the signal to start thinking about a shot here. Hodge tries to get one low on the ice, doesn't make it past Senior. Senior has been in the way of multiple attempts here. She just seems to be right place, right time.
And that's
even on that goal.
That's that experience that Jackie brings to the game. She's also got, she doesn't have quite the reach that Jillian Dreger has, but she does have a reach and uses it to her advantage.
Nozzle with speed behind the net.
I think that's Bewald, actually. No, it is Nozzle. I should have known from the skating style.
Or that. Down low for Anderson. Anderson steps in, draws the penalty, and it's in.
And gets the
rebound. Sent home by Erin Markle.
Let's see that replay.
It's that second effort that makes all the difference there. Anderson had everybody fooled. Got the great shot at the beginning, but just have enough of a bounce. We'll see it here. Just unlucky for Thunder as Markle steps into that low post position.
And there would have been a tripping penalty on that play, but of course that's not going to happen. It is canceled by the goal, but new this year is we do need to report the goals.
Yes, new this year. It will get recorded on the score sheet.
It's been a rule in Ontario for quite a while, but it became a national rule for the first time this year. And in fact, the officials were instructed that they need to signal those canceled penalties when they're at the penalty bench.
Gillespie saw Crow at center. Tried to get it through. Now Jacoby with Bewald on the boards. Back over to Yolden in that safer corner between the circle and the ringette line. She'll come out with the cycle. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Fakes the drop. Goes to Senior. Does the swap. Now to Jacoby up top. Just misses that stab. Loose ring still. Senior picks it up. She tries to get that far post. Still with the ring now is Jacoby.
We've had the official over on this side trying to signal the reset. It is picked up. A few seconds late on that one.
Thunder shaking her head. Gustafsson not seeing something that she's liking quite yet.
And like we said, just Waterloo playing that zone in the center area, just shutting down lanes.
Now to Bouchard. BC still looking for their first goal here. Bouchard.
They have pulled their goalie. They get the 4 skaters in there to try and get something on the board.
Bouchard steps up, gets the backhand shot. Gorgie gets it with her face, I thought.
Well, Waterloo was in the crease on that play, so the free pass will go back to BC.
So McDonald's on the bench, they only have 5 on the ice still, so they can put 4 in the zone, but that's to allow for the flexibility for McDonald to do the skate quickly back to the net should she need to.
Yes.
Rather than waiting for that 6th player to do the swap. That's pretty typical for pulling the goalie at this time. Dick to Williams. Down back to Dick. Setting up that box, Williams. Gets it to Bouchard. 10 seconds on the shot clock here. Bouchard fakes, goes to Williams. Williams shoots from far out. A lot of power on that. Gets the rebound over to Thunder. But Gorgie gets a pad. Shorney with the backhand shovel. Doesn't quite get there. Williams tries to break through. She's going to get a penalty drawn.
Yeah, she draws the penalty on that one. There is a body contact there to Waterloo.
And again, Lucian, we talked earlier about the fact that you just need to keep your feet moving, especially when you're trying to crash the triangle. Oftentimes you will have these kinds of penalties drawn. And that's the benefit of continuing your path and keeping those feet moving.
That's right. I mean, you force your opponent to do something, and usually they're going to end up getting drawn into doing something that's going to earn them some time in the sin bin. So, like a great drive by Williams that really forces Markle to make that move.
Now, still with the goalie out, makes the shot. Simser had a look, but Gorgie stayed on that post. Kiviaho now. McDonald skates hard back into her net. She's there. But she's watching. She's getting out again. She knows that she's going right back to the bench now. Simser. Giving some time to set up here. 4 in the zone. McDonald on the bench. Half the shot clock done with Simser. Now Hodge. Getting a bit active here, tries to get it to Simser, back to Hodge, now down low to Parody. She's pretty far away from the net. And the time will expire. Waterloo is playing that very aggressive center position, taking away that top lane. Again, we talked about this zone is so small. You have very little to work with, and you add that extra player and you've got even less space. 3-on-1 brings that back for Parody.
Yeah.
Finds Gillespie. McDonald kind of hovering in the middle, seeing if she needs to go to the bench or go to the net. As the ring gets settled in the zone with Dick, she will go to the bench. Bit of a change here as Bouchard comes in on the fly. 10 seconds on the shot clock. She's got some time. Cuts outside the zone, back to Takasaki. Tries to get it cross crease, does Williams. On the backhand, goes high. That was a good attempt there from Takasaki, just a little bit above the crossbar, but good quick pass across the crease.
And a great, the other thing here, we talked about when the goalie is being pulled, and in this case, we're in that swivel head situation where the official has to keep an eye on whether the goalie is off before the skater comes inside that line. As an official, we much prefer when it's across ice from us rather than up the ice.
I hope they did their neck stretches. Now with the box, 4 in the zone again. Bouchard up top, fakes, still looking, wants the pass, finds it with Takasaki. Down low to Chorney, she shoots.
Waterloo back at full strength.
Gorgie doing your favorite, the overhand. That's your favorite.
She's got a good sidearm too.
Yeah. Again, we talked in the other game. It's choice, right? All these goalies have different ways of doing it, and because it's such an integral part of our sport, it does mean a lot, your style.
It's difficult to keep the ring flat and easy to a firmer side. And in this case, that was a two-line pass, but the referee made the judgment that BC had time to play it. They did not.
Yes.
So it's an all play.
They canceled it out. And that's something for the forwards. You want to keep an eye on
against Waterloo on that one is there was no reset on the shot clock either.
Yes.
And they didn't realize that.
Yes. A lot going on there now. With Crow in the zone. Again, BC, they still need their first goal. They need to get something done here quickly. Crow drops it to Hannison. She fires it. A little bit of a fumble on that.
Yeah. We've got players in the crease. I think both of them were in the crease, but because Waterloo has the ring, the violation is charged to them. And it'll be BC's ring. We've got 5:44 left here in regulation time of this gold medal matchup.
The winner of this takes it all.
Timeout called by BC here.
Lucianne, if you're coaching BC at this point, what are you telling your players?
Oh, please, I don't coach anybody. But what I would be telling them, they really need to be able to get away from the lanes. They need to shorten up their passes. Rather than this long stretch into the corner where you know your player's going to be there first, but they've got some backhand passes that are not going the right direction. They're just not getting the right angle on them. And so that chews up 5 to 7 seconds of their shot clock when they have to go and retrieve the ring off the boards. And Waterloo's not going to chase that one down right now. They don't need to. So they need to really force the play on Waterloo and keep the passes short, drive that triangle again, try and draw the penalty. In that Waterloo end.
Well, and from an offensive perspective, Gorgie's just been really strong with her pads. She doesn't move a ton, so they need to start moving her, make her fake, have her bite, and go top down. They've done very simple, cross crease, some setup plays, but they're just shooting it right at her. If they make her move, they might find some success there.
That's right.
A testament to her skills. No goaltender remaining for BC there. Continue to keep McDonald on the bench. 5 on the ice, 4 in the zone. And a shot up top again. And it's in!
And they get the goal.
They poked it in! They go throwing past Gorgie for the first goal for BC Thunder. That'll be Kira Hodge putting Thunder within 2. That'll give them some life back, Lucianne.
That will. Now here you see that rebound comes out just a little too far off of Gorgie, and Hodge is right on top of that. So great job by Hodge to stay focused in that low space close to the crease.
And some of those ones, they'll go in. It's all about the second and third effort and keeping your eye on those rebounds. So Kira Hodge, again, bringing up BC within 2. Wilden up front, shot blocked. Trying to settle things, bouncing ring. Chorney scooping in to save it, finds support with Dick.
And this is definitely given life to BC.
The
jump that they've got coming out of this play, and they've just drawn another penalty.
From the speed, the energy, it's giving them energy. That'll be a major. Yeah, I was thinking that was going to be a major boarding on Williamson. So that'll be Sydney Nozzle, who's an offensive force as well.
Yeah,
a calming presence. Box for that full 4 minutes. So far, Thunder has not been able to capitalize on any of the penalties. Their power play has not been able to convert. They'll try something here, though. McDonald is out of the net. They still have the 4 in the zone. Chorney tries to get it across the crease, does, but it's a bouncing ring, hard for Williams to stab. Gorgie will toss it into open territory. Markle fighting. She's got many on her. Kiviaho with the loose ring pickup. She's got 3 on her. And using the support.
And again, the smarts, just pass it back to your D. If there's not a lane forward, go backwards. Kiviaho is a former team captain for Canada and just not prone to getting frazzled out there, not prone to feeling the urgency.
Thunder, they want another one here.
She does not panic at all.
Loose ring still. Now Granger steps.
And again, the back pass.
Anderson with the support to Gillespie. Gillespie looking at her options before she stabs it. She wants to know who's there.
And then McDonald making her way to the bench.
4 in the zone now. Over to Hodge. Hodge finds the active down low, passing it again. Gorgie was down.
Just what you said, get Gorgie to move.
Crow steps in, shoots. Gorgie, she was down, but she had the glove in the perfect spot. Good look there from Crow. And
same thing, Granger not afraid to pass it back to Gorgie there.
A lot of trust. Still 2 minutes left in the major penalty to Wildfire. Under on the power play here as Yulden goes into that corner for that flipped ring. 5 seconds on the shot clock, needs to make something happen. Passing up to Markle up front. She fakes it down to Yulden. Yulden on the post. Time expires. That sequence is deadly, but didn't have enough time.
But just a great using up that 30 seconds, killing some clock time for BC.
Williams came flying out of that bench to pick up that ring.
Going to her bench again.
Beach on the cycle. Wanted to throw it up front to somebody, but it finds its way to Yellow instead. Gorgie getting overwhelmed on that. That was good coverage. She still couldn't find an option.
So Gorgie trying sidearm and then looking for overhand. But
trying all
then,
options.
no time left. So 2:27 left here, 1:26 left on the penalty.
We start seeing
and now
the
timeout called by Waterloo.
Ringette Revolution and starting to fill in your bronze medalists. They'll be receiving their medals the same time as these two teams. So
yes. So after this game are the medal presentations. All three medal winners.
Still lots of time left. 5 shot clocks worth. BC is going to put out everything they got. Beach tries to get that shot through. It meets Senior. Again, Senior just blocking everything today.
And a passer, and there's going to be a penalty to BC here. And we're actually going to have 2 penalties because McDonald had come back onto the ice and BC still had 4 players inside there. They did not have the ring. That means they can end up with a delay of game call.
Yep. Critical error at this time in the game.
So the referee's just conferring to make sure that that they've got these calls handled the way they want, and making sure whether it's 2 penalties of 2 minutes or 1 player with a double.
3 penalties, Lucian. There's 3 in the box.
Yeah, I see that.
Now, I wondered if there were going to be 2 calls on that initial play along the Ringette line.
They're only showing 2 minutes. So we've got 1 penalty for a trip. The second penalty is for body, and the third penalty is the delay of game.
Yeah. Wow. You don't see that very often. 2 is bad enough. 3 is tough.
Because what happens here is we'll still have 3 skaters out there, so once the first penalty, the 2 of them are going to expire at the same time, the third one won't start until then. So they actually have right now, if it goes the full stretch, it's 2 minutes of 3-on-2 for Waterloo, and then they'll still be on a power play after that.
Now, Waterloo has got to be thinking about what a gift this is. A 3-on-2 with just over 2 minutes remaining in this gold medal final. They don't have to force this. They don't have to do much. They need to control it. They don't need to score. But they do anyway. Erin Markle, second goal of the game, sends it home. And the crowd goes wild.
So now you'll see the first penalty come off, and we'll have 1:48 and 2 minutes left of penalty time.
So still, that 3-on-2 opportunity sits with Waterloo Wildfire. Again, they don't need it. They didn't need that last one, but Markle, beautiful shot.
Well, I mean, it's an opportunity that was given to you, so you're not going to turn it down.
You see it, you take it. They didn't necessarily need to, but she was in the perfect position.
Exactly. And if it was 3-on-3, I don't think they would have, but at 3-on-2, yeah. So McDonald gets pulled this time, and at this point, Australia will likely stay in the bench. There's no need for her to come back out.
But they want that fourth player.
Yeah. And really, if you're not going to win this game, it doesn't matter how much you lose it by.
4 in the zone. Another out wide shot from Beach. Georgie, she's been there all afternoon. No problem. Crow inside to Hannison. Hannison falls. Piviajo now all by herself with an empty net. Sends it home. They're up by 5. Dare I say it, sealing the deal.
I believe so.
1 minute and 21 seconds remain. Still one in the box. And one actually still in for Waterloo, so 4-on-4.
Yeah, Nozzle's still in for that major that she took. She's still got 20 seconds on that.
Sinzer to Chorney. Chorney steps in, shoots. That was deadly. Georgie gets a piece of her stick on it.
And we did get McDonald back in the net there, so that's why we only see 3 skaters in front.
Probably wants to close things out on the ice, I would imagine.
Well, after that empty netter, really there's nothing more going for you.
Yeah.
So Waterloo with the free pass, or the goalkeeper ring. And Waterloo back at full strength.
They just need to control it at this point now. Jacoby, she's looking at the clock. She's using the available space, sending it back into the neutral zone for Granger. The cheering getting louder in the stands. Jacoby sends it low. Another shot. And it goes in on the rebound.
Yeah, they got that reset.
6-1.
Yeah, they got that reset with that late shot. And then the rebound picked up.
Why not get another one, hey?
And that's Jacoby.
Why not? Get the good replay on that one. Yeah, Bewald. Big, powerful shot off of McDonald because she got the pad on it.
Yeah. The rebound just came out to the wrong person for McDonald.
And Jacoby's been looking all game. Gets one in this gold medal final.
Okay, the clock winding down. We're 10 seconds. EC cycling around with it.
Waterloo Wildfire, your gold medal champions, 2026. They take it home 6-1.
So this was obviously a very different Waterloo team than what we saw in the round-robin game, and really I'm not surprised by that. So we see everybody getting set up. We've got the carpets coming out. There's going to be medal presentations. And wow, what a great job by Waterloo. I mean, they started out, the first quarter was like they were feeling each other out. One penalty to each team, that was it. just carried on, and then Waterloo exploded. That multiple penalty situation really
just nail in the coffin.
I mean, they were in the lead at that point anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of scramble by BC on that
but
play.
Just took away all their hope at that point. But BC, tremendous week to get all the way here.
Well, and kudos to BC. When that penalty situation occurred, they didn't roll over and hold their tent. They kept pressing, kept trying to get another one on the board, kept trying to claw their way back in.
Well, and they beat the reigning champions, Montreal Mission, 4-2 to get all the way to the semifinals.
And they actually beat the Montreal Mission 1-0 in the round robin as well.
Yep.
Nothing like a low-scoring game.
This one just creeping up on us, as you said, Lucienne. Some of that end chaos with the penalties just really, again, sealing the deal for Waterloo Wildfire. And if my notes, so Ringette Canada gave us some notes, and this is the best result that Waterloo Wildfire have ever had.
Yes.
This is their first win of their entire franchise history.
So on that, I do have to say a kudos to Una Kiviaho. Her daughter scored a goal and did not get a penalty.
Hey, a win's a win. So their best result so far was third place in 2024. So they were sixth in 2025. They were third in 2024. But they are first in 2026. They are golden. They will receive medals and the coveted golden Ringette sticks.
We never had those in 79. Yeah. So congratulations to all of the teams and to all of the coaching staffs too. We often forget about them. The Waterloo Wildfire are actually in the running for Team Personnel of the Year, and just the work that they put into this. I mean, Paul Yolden still lives in the Ottawa area, but he's on the bench with Waterloo.
That's dedication.
Yeah, and the team staff from BC. All the work at Rivsud, all of the team staff for all of the divisions. Really, if your players haven't thanked you, we'll do it for them. And then the other thank you is to all of the families.
Yes,
the commitment they put into it,
just incredible
for these.
Even at the national level, where some of these players, they've seen it, they've done it, they've got their own kids, and still got the family coming out to see these.
And
games.
at this NRL division, many of these players have their own children here watching.
Exactly. We keep talking multi-generational. That's why we love it. We're just a fabulous showing today from Waterloo. They really showed up. They were strong, consistent. They kept at it. Both teams, keeping each other well within one goal for a very long time, but then just continuing to hit the fundamentals, capitalizing on small mistakes from Thunder, and sending that ring pass. I mean, McDonald, that was always going to be the tough part of this game. She's impossible to score on. But they found a way today and continued to just push and push and push and push, and they came out with the win. You'll probably look at the score 6-1 and think, wow, this was a blowout. It was not. Most of those goals came within the last half of this game. One was an empty netter.
Yeah, because when we came into this third quarter, it was 2-0.
Yes. At that point, yes. So, again, a really hard-fought match between these two teams. BC coming all the way from the west, and they were 12th last year. This is an amazing improvement. They should be so proud of themselves. Rivstud, you're back-to-back bronze medal champions, and for first time ever, the Waterloo Wildfire take home the CRC gold.
And you see them come over towards the glass here to thank their fans in the stands. So some pretty proud family moments going on here.
Never gets old. No matter how many times. It never gets old. This is the best week of the year. I maintain that.
And there's mother and daughter right there. Sherry Markle and Erin Markle.
That's very special. Well, Erin was a major part of this win as well. 2 goals, one being just pivotal to the success that they saw today.
So now we have the presentations. So there'll be the medals and the trophy, the golden sticks and the trophy and banner.
So 3 teams here, all National Ringette League, lined up to receive bronze, silver, and gold. Some excitement, some tears. It's a highly emotional scenario.
Okay, so the presentations first to the bronze medalists. Withstood Revolution. And I'm just trying to see who is presenting the awards. Here are the medals. Oh. So presentations to each of the players. That's Dumont and Vachon. Laurence Larocque, such a force for this team. Oh, I see. So they continue on.
So they've skipped. There's a little bit of confusion in the beginning because Emma Morello is not on one of the rosters, but she's on ramp. So they're doing it in number order. She's number 4. So she'll get hers at the end, but they're going through number by number for everybody here. That's Martel. She stood on her head to get here. Very big part of this bronze
She did,
game,
and then Lori St. Pierre in this game.
Yep.
So really, that's a great problem for a coach to have. How do I choose who to go in because they're both so good?
Yep. That's a great problem. And that's the problem you want to have. And we got such a treat this week with all of the talent showcased here.
As you said, Emma Morello, and now the team staff. So, Luc Plante, Marilyn Dion, accused of moving to the side. She has officiated at the Canadian Championships and then started coaching. She was actually a coach with the Quebec-Canada Games team that won the gold medal in 23.
So she's got a few in her closet hanging up.
She does. She does.
Those look nice, too. Look at those medals. Look good.
And see, Agnes Jacks used to collect a set of medals from each event. She would get, usually in like a shadow box type of presentation, gold, silver, and bronze. Not only from Canadian Championships, but from World Championships.
And again, for those that are newer to our sport, Agnes and Sam Jacks were our founding members. They started the sport back in the 60s. So lots of thanks to them to getting us to where we are today.
So BC Thunder, as we said, a big congratulations to them, moving from 12th to 2nd. It hurts right now, but I think they'll realize that they've achieved some great things and there's still a lot of future for them.
Absolutely. And that's the benefit. If you come back to nationals in the NRL, you come back to play in the NRL, you get to go to nationals.
Oh, somebody getting some help here. I believe that was Molly Chorney and Danielle Bouchard together.
There's Kira Hodge, Calgarian.
And the goal scorer today.
And the goal scorer today, yep. That's something to hold in your heart. She got the lone goal to win the silver.
Verdi Takasaki, Isabel Beach, Izzy Beach, member of Junior Team Canada most recently. Gustafson, very strong on defense. And that's Marissa Dick. Sydney Crow. Her grandfather used to coach. Her mother was a coach for a long time.
There's the families.
a big cheer for Sarah McDonald. Well-deserved. Yeah. Well-deserved cheer from the crowd.
Yeah.
No matter your team or provincial affiliation.
And I said it before on the broadcast yesterday, but Sarah McDonald is the reason I have a silver from my U16 Fredericton 2013. She single-handedly stole my gold from me, so now I guess she knows silver.
And you're not bitter about it anymore,
well,
are
no,
you?
and I don't hold grudges or anything, so.
Yeah,
no, when I saw she joined BC Thunder, I thought, oh man, that's going to be good. And she showed up this week, so credit to her.
There's Nicole Jepkema. Daughter plays on U19. Her father, Carmen Castor, coached, as I said, the BC team in 1999 in Newfoundland.
And you'd love to see the sportsmanship as well, giving everyone a handshake, congratulating them, no matter what your color of your medal ends up being. There's all love in the room.
Yeah, so there's Jen Rogers in front. Her daughter is number 8, Rogers Horn.
Gorgie. One of the keys to this game.
Absolutely. To this whole week.
As a wall. I mean, we often call goalies walls, but she was basically just a wall this entire game.
Jacqueline Senior. So they're getting the medals and the sticks.
And the sticks, you're not going to end up playing with those. You take those home, you put them on your wall.
You hang all your medals off of them.
You hang all your medals off of them. Most people don't play with wood sticks anymore anyway, so.
No, we were talking about those sticks and the flex of the sticks as we watched the play here.
Yeah. I was one of the first movers on composite back in the day, and it took a lot of convincing. And now, good luck changing me back from composite. It was very suspicious.
I never got away from the wood. I stopped playing in 2003.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
2007.
2007. And I never stopped with the wood.
Well, Power Tech had one for a while, but the tip wasn't great.
Allison Bewald and Paige Nozzle. Caitlin Yolden. Kelsey Yolden. Caitlin's the one with Raid.
Yep.
Both
cases, all good.
Deanna Jacoby got that winning goal in the quarterfinal game in the last second of the game. Sydney Nozzle. And Sherry Markle.
Oh, you love that.
So emotional and just such a great person.
Fabulous. So well deserved.
Sherry has coached Team Ontario at Canada Games. She's also stepped in to do the work technical director at Canadian Ringette Championships for Ringette Canada when we were short of staff for an event. And she's just an all-around great person. Not afraid to step into any role and brings her best.
Brings the leadership.
Yeah.
Leading this team to its first gold medal.
And here's Paul Yolden. They want to make sure he gets his gold stick. Now the captain's up here for the presentation of the trophy and the banner.
Ooh, looks like everybody gets a Gatorade hat, too. Thank you to Gatorade for sponsoring.
Okay.
There you go. There you have it. 2026 national champions. Waterloo Wildfire taking it home in the home province.
So the team captains there, that's Aaron Markle, Kelsey Olden, and Erica Kiviajo.
Your 2026 National Ringette champions, Waterloo Wildfire. 6th place last year, #1 this year.
I love that picture there where you can see the reflection of those players on top of that trophy. Just such
smiles,
a team moment.
The excitement. They're going to have a fun evening tonight.
Okay, group hug, group cheer. And congratulations to the Waterloo Wildfire on an exceptional week, a terrific season, and finishing it on a golden note.
Victory lap for Kelsey Olden. Everyone gets a turn. Erin Markle, she got 2 goals in this one.
So playing the game here, pass the trophy. And the third captain, Erica Kiviajo, is next. She was going to drop it there.
Oh, they need to get the team photo done.
Okay.
Most important.
Yes, we've got media here, and thank you to them. They want to get the pictures here, get them out on the wires, and let everybody know that Waterloo Wildfire is our National Ringette League champions for the 25-26 season. Oh, there's Erica coming out with the trophy. Yep, and there's her mom at the glass there trying to get the picture. And next is Jacqueline Sr. Doesn't wear a C, but is definitely a leader on this team. Able to share this moment with her sister, Jen Gaudette, one of the team staff. Next is Sydney Granger. I'm not sure how they're deciding the order here,
Nope,
Emily.
not a clue. Vibes based, potentially.
Allison Bewald next.
Actually, those 3 wear that bubble cage. Maybe they're determining it by the style of cage that you wear.
Well, the bubble cage indicates you've been around for a while.
Yep.
Those, we haven't had those for a long time.
Yeah, it's a very Ontario thing as well.
Okay. This is Lydia Duncan.
She was on the 2022 senior national team, 2019 junior national team. So some great experience there as well. Hanson Fong, what a machine. She was skating hard today.
And each of them takes a turn skating over to the glass where there's family members waiting for those pictures. And this is Brianna Jacoby.
2023 junior national team.
And she was one of our goal scorers today. And as we said, the goal scorer in that quarterfinal game, Maddie McLean.
2019 junior national team. And the sisters, the Nozzles,
doing everything together. There used to be 3 of them playing together on with Cambridge Turbos. So now just Paige and Sydney left here with Waterloo Wildfire.
Both also with experience on the international stage.
Now gather for the group photo. See the folks on the organizers on the ice here trying to corral everybody into into getting
some
there for
semblance
the
of
team
organization.
photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. You know what? The next game is actually scheduled to start at 3:15. That will not be happening.
There we go, getting set up. All together, all three medaling teams. All very different jersey colors. That's very satisfying for me. So you know who's who.
Yes, it's great for the picture. So you got just as you would on a podium. You've got the bronze medalist to the left as we look at gold medalist in the middle and silver medalist to the right-hand side.
And as we keep saying, a lot of these athletes have played with each other on different teams and on the national teams as well. So some of them are quite familiar and friendly with each other as well.
That's right. So congratulations to Ribswood Revolution, repeating as the bronze medalist. BC Thunder moving from 12th up to silver medalist here. And Waterloo Wildfire, our national champions.
Well, we'd like to thank everyone for tuning in across the week, and especially today. All Women's Sports Network, thank you to you. ABC Sports, thank you to you. ISI Live for bringing everything towards very professional. We'd love to have the ISI Live team together, so thanks to them. And again, all of the volunteers, host committee, everyone that's put on such an amazing week, such an amazing 2 years. We thank you for tuning in. Again, your Waterloo Warriors are your 2026 national champions.